So Matt Miller talked to people, thankfully, rather than just throwing things at the wall. Matt Miller canvassed more than half a dozen scouts, coaches, and executives from around the NFL to come up with 3 sensible, see that word? Sensible offers.
I like that.
For the top pick, although no personnel affiliated with the involved teams weighed in. So this is actual information with sensible, possible offers.
And probably talking to more than one person.
Yeah, this is the opposite of clickbait reporting. Potential offers that make sense. Indianapolis Colts for the number 1 pick, okay? The offer, number 4 overall, a 2nd rounder, a 4th rounder, and a 3rd rounder in 2024. And he says the feedback when I put this into a mock draft is the Bears won't get a king's ransom for the number 1 pick. But Indianapolis had the best situation in terms of draft capital and trading the pick out of the NFC.
A 1, a 2, a 4, and a future 3.
Says it's not a huge return.
Swap 1, 2, 4, future 3.
Yep.
Okay.
So they still have.
Although the Alabama guy doesn't look bad, I tell you.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
So not a huge return, keeps the Bears in contention to draft one of the 2 top defenders in Carter and Anderson, and that's arguably the most important scenario for Poles and Eberflus in a class that doesn't have a top 5 player at left tackle or wide receiver.
You look at this draft, and a lot of people will tell you that this draft is pretty strong overall, 1 through 55. So with that 2nd round pick, you're in play to do some stuff too.
One pro scout estimates there could be nearly 20 starter spots the Bears need to upgrade. So getting 3 choices is big. Staying in range for Carter or Anderson makes this intriguing.
I'm with that.
All right.
I'm listening. If that's the phone call from Indianapolis, I'm not hanging up immediately.
Scenario number 2, Houston Texans.
Okay.
Number 2 overall, a 3rd rounder, a 4th rounder, and a 3rd in 24.
I'm going to need that 2nd round pick. And I get that moving from 2 to 1 is easier than moving from 4 to 1. I need a 2nd. I don't. Again, I'm probably not hanging up the phone, but there's a lot of work we got to do between now and when we make this deal.
Here's the analysis. If this looks familiar to Bears fans, it mirrors the deal the team made to slide up a spot to get Trubisky. A personnel director expressed to me at the Senior Bowl, he writes, that's because there's no sure thing quarterback at the top. The Bears won't be able to ask for an Eli Manning-like trade. Like the Colts offer, this package keeps the Bears in the running for Anderson or Carter, but this one's particularly interesting because then they could be in a position to trade down again.
Yes.
It doesn't happen often in the NFL draft, though it is common in the NBA. The Bears slide back to number 2, then immediately put that pick up for a trade to another quarterback-hungry franchise.
Yes, the Colts.
So sometimes trades in the NFL aren't just about the picks you get in that year, but how many extra picks you can turn those into once the dust settles.
Or the Raiders. This has been in my mock draft that I did for NBC Sports Chicago. I did them trading down twice and landing at 7.
All right, let me give you one more.
Okay.
Carolina Panthers. Here's the offer.
Okay.
Number 9 overall.
You got to jump for it.
A 3rd, a 4th, and then a 2024 1st and a 2024 3rd.
Ooh.
Okay.
So swap.
Little delayed gratification on this.
Swap.
Yeah.
3rd, 4th, next year's 1 and another 4th.
3rd. So this is the most lucrative trade for the Bears in terms of draft capital received, but it puts the team way out of position to land the top defenders.
Yes.
At number 9, the Bears could instead be
O-line.
looking at pass rushers Tyree Wilson of Texas Tech or Miles Murphy of Clemson, and there's no guarantee, that those 2 are still on the board. One former NFL GM said anytime you trade back that far, you can't be certain who will still be on the board, so you have to be really comfortable with the draft class as a whole, and with your roster having enough needs that you can still get an impact player out of the first round. The Bears fit that model well with the needs they have. That's the luxury of being that bad, I guess. Said it's a risk, but the payoff might be best for the future. The future 1st and 3rds would give Chicago a chance to attack a 2024 class that from an early perspective looks stronger overall than this one.
I think of the 3 deals, I would be most inclined to dig in with Houston. I'm like, okay, this is not what I want, but let's see if we can do a little bit more. With the idea being perhaps Indianapolis or Las Vegas or Carolina is still desperate enough to try and jump ahead of the others to make sure that they can get CJ Stroud or whomever. That's not bad. I like that.
You know what that was? That was sensible. That was sourced. That was well considered. And maybe there's a way to do more than one of these, as they said. Maybe you do one and then you do the other.
That would be my choice for them. That's what they should do.